Hi, I'm Nick Nocturnal, and I'm a metal poser. At least that's what some people would say, because I absolutely love core music and core bands like Trivium, Bullet for My Valentine, Suicide Silence, and more modern stuff like Architects, Knocked Loose, Lauren and Shore, whatever it might be. And apparently that makes me less of a metalhead and makes me what's known as a core kid. But I have a story to tell you about core kid and how I've over the years actually embraced the term, not only myself, but turning it into an entire thing that bases around my whole community, as well as my own merch brand that's literally called Core Kid. Now at this point, you guys probably heard that I announced the Nick Nocturnal Awards 2024 show, which again, by the way, today is the last day to vote for the award show. So go vote right now, nicknocturnalawards2024.com. You could win some cool stuff. But of course, even though I included a bunch of not core stuff this year, regardless, as soon as you put a core band in front of anyone's eyes, you get a bunch of comments like, this isn't real metal, which is again a tale all this time. Core kid as a term has existed for literally ever, and there's posts as soon as 2010. I think even on older forums like Ultimate Guitar, there's posts like 2007 or something like that. But even here, Urban Dictionary, best dictionary in the world, a core kid, someone who is a fan of a subgenre, metalcore, who attends metalcore shows and mostly upholds an appearance standard to the subculture. That's number one definition. Number two, an enemy of metalheads and close cousin to emo kids. That's kind of a funnier one. And description in terms of sentence, hey, look at that hot topic core kid. I want to slowly torment and torture him until he lovely. Which again, this argument has not stopped since nowadays. Even I remember Loudwire posting an entire thing about, is metalcore metal, is core metal. Like the argument has not stopped. So for those of you who don't know, the term core kid is actually just an insult, kind of derogatory term to call someone a metal poser, because they don't listen to real, true metal. They only listen to core stuff, breakdown embedded things, that the 578 breakdown, like nowadays it's, metalcore has evolved quite a bit, that it's more electronic based, a lot of clean singing, pop production mixed in. And basically, if you didn't worship, the Slayer, Metallica, or some true Cavalta OG, the black metal, you were a poser. Or, well, to be honest, if you just like breakdowns. And forever, gatekeeping has, of course, divided the metal scene, which is so unfortunate, because the metal scene in itself is already such an exclusion from the general music scene, whether it's the pop scene or the rap scene, where we're already kind of just like the niche, like kind of outcasts. And for years, the outcasts have been outcasting each other with different subgenres, whether it's, not even just excluding core music, but a different type of subset of whatever, thrash or real thrash or black metal or true Cavalta black metal. Like, it's just a thing that continues to persist over time. But core was seen as something too modern, too emotional, and not technical enough, because it's inherently breakdowns with clean singing on a chorus and then a breakdown and cool riffs and breakdowns. Now, for those of you watching my channel for years, I love me a breakdown. I definitely am a little addicted to breakdowns. But even growing up, I have had a vast different variety of metal subgenres that I've dabbled in. Actually, starting not even from core necessarily, but starting all the way from like punk and things like Blink-182 or pop punk, and then things like NoFX, Rancid, to like Guns N' Roses, classic rock, Rolling Stones, and then of course Metallica, all the way until the Avenged Sevenfold's Waking the Fallen and As I Lay Dying. Oh god, Chowser Security ruined my entire life and made me love breakdowns. But even from there, I've diverged. I've listened to a lot of symphonic metal. I've dabbled in the death metal, listening to cool things like, again, Dying Fetus, of course Cannibal Corpse. And over the years, I've kind of just taken what I've liked, and even the things I haven't liked, I've taken the influences I've liked from those things and adapted it into something I do like more. And for myself, being a self-certified core kid, it's something that I like using metalcore or core as a medium, as a foundational structure when it comes to music, and then adding influences from everything else, which is also kind of what the modern metal and metalcore scene has turned into, which is just a genre fusion fiesta. Now, just like in the 2000s when nu metal was the most hated thing ever, and now it's more popular than ever, metalcore was definitely not a thing a lot of people liked, regardless of how thriving a lot of the melodic metalcore bands back there actually were just killing it. But as core went on and survived the 2010s, which, hey, look, I'm with you. Scary, painful years during the 2010s. I'm sorry about crowdcore on behalf of everyone. I got you, okay? I appreciate it, but I get it. But over time, core genres didn't just exist. they started to thrive because of their accessibility, other than just instantly hearing blast beats nonstop, which still exists in core genres, obviously, deathcore being one of them. But they've introduced a whole new generation over time to heavy modern music. I mean, you're seeing it with Spirit Box, Bring Me, Bad Omens, and of course bands now like Knocked Loose. I mean, they just played Jimmy Kimmel. I'm not going to say the word. Everyone knows the word, okay? Jun, jun, jun. But it's been crazy to see, and of course TikTok bleeding into that world of these young kids just like who listen maybe to Taylor Swift, and then Lorna Shore comes on and you see, Will, this charismatic golden retriever guy, go and you're like, damn, I want to make my whole life about this. And making my whole life about this is kind of exactly what I've done throughout many years, especially being on YouTube for 11 years and cultivating a community thanks to you guys, which it's funny because we've had a lot of different metal outlets. I even myself listen to a bunch of different metal, but when it comes to showcasing the majority of content on here, and I think the majority of the fan base that perhaps watches, I think it's safe to say a lot of us are core kids. We're the outcasts of the outcasts, which is wild to think about. And that's something where a few years ago, I started to embrace. I started going at the start of videos, core kid for life, because I've always been looked down as a person who likes core music. And over time, I was just like, we need to come together and we need to celebrate breakdowns. Because even if, no matter how brutal music you like or how true Cavalt you like, I mean, if you get just a disgusting, dun 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 breakdown coming your way, even if you hate the band and the song, you're gonna pretend you don't stank face just a little. Everyone stanks, brother. Okay. And that's why I started to wear it like a badge of honor, especially with my community. I mean, we have a Discord filled with people whose intro rank is core kid. We have like 16,000 people who are core kids. And even though we celebrate breakdowns and ignorant, stupid, fun music, and sure, clean singing in choruses sometimes, not always, and 5, 7, 8 riffs, we also can celebrate other stuff outside of that, celebrate true Cavalt things, celebrate death metal, celebrate progressive music. I mean, there's no really limits. I think just with metalcore, especially how it's been expanding throughout the years, it's just such an easy and medium that so many people can attach themselves to and not have to make their whole life about it, even though unironically I have. And I've kind of helped lean the whole community we have here that way, because that's how I grew up. I'm a core kid. And that leans not just to me being proud to be a core kid, but a bunch of people here being proud to be called a core kid, leaning to even why I started Core Kid as a merch line. Like, this is something that I was like, look, there's not really a community or even just like a merch area that satisfies the fun core aspect of things that can blend alternative and core. And when it comes to Core Kid merch, even that has become its own thing, to the point where like it has its own socials. It kind of has its own weird community as a merch brand, where again, if you guys want to follow, be sure to follow the Core Kid Instagram and all the socials with all that to keep up. And even starting from the Nick Nocturnal community, that has just grown to kind of be its own thing. And I got to thank a lot of you guys, because over the years you've supported not only this community, but like I said, Core Kid as a brand, as a merch brand. And even today, furthering this, like we just launched our brand new Core Kid designs. I mean, if you guys want one, I'm wearing one of the shirts right now. We have a lot of essential lines, which is just Core Kid, Death Angel, and a bunch of stuff. And that's going to be merch items that are there, part of the actual core collection of Core Kid, to help celebrate and again to just be a part of what we do around here. And even to you guys that have already supported Core Kid, you guys know I've been screaming Core Kid for life, wearing Core Kid merch for a minute now. I see a bunch of people that say, hey, I got into metal because of you, or hey, I started listening to heavier bands or breakdowns and all that stuff because of you. And honestly, thank you so much. So that's why even when it comes to not just cultivating the community, but even something as simple as designing merch, actual serious merch, not the stupid jun thing, which you guys wanted and we did on stream in 2 minutes. I want to make sure it's something that you guys actually like and can kind of feel represented by as a community, and not just like, oh, Nick Nocturnal lol merch stuff because he's YouTuber, man. So if you guys do want to go pick up that stuff, corekid.ca, feel free to go pick it up. Again, we just dropped the brand new line. And thank you for supporting this community for so long, and again, supporting the store, supporting the Discord, supporting the Twitch, whatever it might just be. It means a lot. But regardless of how cringe some people might think breakdowns are, let's come together. We're already the outcasts of the outcasts. Let's just come together as a metal scene. Core, metal, core. Shake hands, listen to some brutal riffs and breakdowns together. And damn straight, I will always be a Core Kid for life. If you want the merch, corekid.ca. And don't forget to vote. Make sure you're represented. Vote NickNocturnalWars2024.com and corekid.ca if you want to pick up some Core Kid merch. Thank you, guys. I'm out.